Coming up, President Joe Biden talks healthcare ahead of potential 2024 campaign. And later, a certain career is getting celebrated this week.
Iowa Hawkeye magic continues in Bloomington, Indiana.
Another winter storm may be heading towards Iowa City.
This is DITV News at 8:30. Good morning and thank you for tuning in live to DITV and KRUI 89.7 FM. I'm Johnny Valtman. President Joe Biden addressed healthcare costs and his administration's goals for healthcare in the U.S. yesterday. DITV Assistant News Director Julia Richards has more.
President Joe Biden spoke about his administration's healthcare goals in an effort to strike contrast between his policies and Republican healthcare policies at a recreation center in Virginia.
Let's cap the cost of insulin at $35 a month for every single American who needs it. We're the only country that doesn't do that.
President Biden addressed healthcare issues like the cost of insulin and Big Pharma's profits. The message comes ahead of the release of President Biden's budget plan next week. President Biden emphasized that Republicans could try to eliminate Medicaid and the Affordable Care Act benefits, as well as Social Security and Medicare. However, Republicans have ruled out making cuts to those programs. The budget plan will be released on March 9th. This is Julia Richards, DITV.
And as we're nearing the beginning of presidential campaign season, the question about if President Biden will run again is up in the air. DITV News reporter Noah Klosterman has more.
First Lady Jill Biden addressed speculation about her husband's potential run for re-election. Jill Biden said that the decision is ultimately up to President Biden, but the family will support whatever decision he makes. But Jill is still confident that the president will run again.
Well, he said he intends to run, so nothing's been planned yet. It's Joe's decision, and we support whatever he wants to do.
This is the strongest signal yet that President Biden is gearing up for a re-election campaign. The president said before that he expects to run again in 2024, but he has not formally announced his decision. For DITV, I'm Noah Klosterman.
Yesterday, multiple Iowa representatives proposed to ban same-sex marriage in the state of Iowa. Iowa Republicans are basing this resolution off the state of Iowa recognizing the definition of marriage to be a union between one human biological male and one human biological female. Several Iowa Democrats have criticized this bill, saying it is moving the state backwards. 8 years ago, the United States Supreme Court legalized same-sex marriage nationwide. Therefore, it is uncertain if this proposal by state lawmakers would be enforceable due to the federal law. The City of Iowa City website is getting a makeover. Later this month, the website will feature a UI student-related resource section. This section will include advice on how to live in Iowa City, what to do if your car gets towed, how to sign up for utilities, register your bike, and even information about owning a pet. The website is also including the American Disability Act to make sure access to the information is in compliance. Now let's take a look with David Consuelos on how the weather is looking today. David?
Well, Johnny, first off, happy birthday, and it looks like we're getting beautiful weather today to celebrate your day today. It is a little chilly this morning as it is currently 36 degrees and a little cloudy, but luckily the sun is already starting to make an appearance and will stay out all day. Today sees a high of 53 degrees, so enjoy the warm weather as you walk to class today. Tonight we'll see a drop to a cool 30 degrees as we will close out the day. Unfortunately, tomorrow will be a little gloomy as the sky will be cloudy with a high of 42 and a low of 32. Looking at the week ahead, be cautious traveling to class on Friday as another potential winter storm may be once again paying us a visit. The weekend does not look too bad with the temperatures being in the low 40s, and make sure you have an umbrella ready for Monday as we are expecting early showers with a high of 46. Finally, Tuesday will have a high of 42 with a low of 25. Back to you, birthday boy.
Thank you, David. This week is Music Therapy Week, and Daily Iowan News reporter Sophia Mamakos talked to music therapists and musical therapy students to see how they're celebrating this week and is in the newsroom with more.
Thanks, Johnny. Music Therapy Week started this Sunday and continues till March 4th. From the music therapists and music therapy students I talked to, they were very passionate about their work and spoke confidently about how music can have a great impact on mental health. Many are celebrating by continuing to advocate for the importance of music therapy and by getting together with other therapists. I also looked at data regarding the popularity of music therapy and saw that the demand had doubled over the past 5 years. The therapists were excited about this increase and continuously stressed that even though people don't think of music therapy right off the bat, it's an evidence-based profession that can do a lot of good in the community. Happy Music Therapy Week, and back to you, Johnny.
The annual Cancer in Iowa report released by the Iowa Cancer Registry was made available yesterday. The report tracks cancer cases, survival rates, deaths from cancer, and informs Iowans of the status of cancer in the state. Highlights from this year's report include an estimated 20,800 new invasive cancers will be diagnosed among Iowans. Around 6,200 Iowans will die from cancer in 2023, but the number of cancer survivors is increasing, and there are around 164,000 cancer survivors in Iowa since 2018. If you would like to read the full report, you can find it on the UI Public Health's website. The Iowa Memorial Union is receiving some technological upgrades. The second and third floors of the IMU will feature larger TVs, computers, and soundbars with built-in microphones and cameras. The Iowa Theater and Big Ten Theater will have upgrades to existing technologies to make the microphones compatible with Zoom, Skype, and other platforms to enhance the hybrid experience. The main goal of these technological upgrades is to make spaces available for student organizations for hybrid meetings. The cost of these upgrades is estimated around $20,000. The timeline for the project will depend on what type of technology and the spaces. A UI professor is leading a new research project that tracks bilingual children's speech development. Assistant Professor Philip Kumbitz, UI Department of Communication Sciences and Disorders, is working with the neighborhood centers of Johnson County to track and analyze preschoolers who speak Arabic, French, Spanish, Lingala, and Swahili to see how their English as second language is developing. The project gathers information through language sampling that includes recording the children speaking, transcribing what the children say, and having a computer code and determine what words were said correctly. The research project started when Kumbitz collaborated with the centers in one of his classes to give graduate students studying speech pathology hands-on experience. Johnson County is exploring using COVID-19 relief money to fund a new position and a new program. The Violence Prevention Coordinator position and program would bring together community partners to try and curb violence in the county. Community partners include law enforcement, the Iowa City Community School District, juvenile court representatives, among many others. Johnson County received $29.3 million from the American Rescue Plan Act COVID-19 relief money. About $260,000 of that money would be spent on the new program and position it from the fiscal 2023 to fiscal 2026. Now let's send it over to DITV Sports with Sam Heyn.
Thanks, Johnny. The magic around the Iowa men's basketball team doesn't seem to be slowing down. Last night, the Hawkeyes upset number 15 Indiana in front of a sold-out Assembly Hall 90-68.
You sign up to play in this league, you want to play in this type of environment. I mean, that's what you've agreed to. That's what you signed up for.
Chris Murray and Tony Perkins each netted over 20 points to lead the Hawkeyes on offense. Philip Rebrach also had his 12th double-digit game of the season, finishing the night with 16 points. The Hawks completed the season sweep of the Hoosiers and now have a combined 13 Quad 1 and Quad 2 victories this season, which will only bolster their resume come March Madness. Iowa will close their regular season in front of a sold-out crowd on Sunday when they host the Nebraska Cornhuskers at Carver Hawkeye Arena. The Big Ten Committee released their women's basketball awards list yesterday, and it's no surprise multiple Hawkeyes made the cut. DITV sports reporter Aiden Wirtz has more on the team's accomplishments.
Past Sunday, Caitlin Clark has been crowned Big Ten Player of the Year. The sharpshooter is the first player to win the award in back-to-back years since Iowa's Megan Gustafson in 2018 and 19. Clark is averaging 27.2 points per game, and she is the only player in the nation with more than 750 points, 210 rebounds, 210 assists, and 30 steals. But the spotlight doesn't just shine on Clark. Her partner in crime, Monica Sonano, earned first-team accolades, while freshman Hannah Stokey won 6th Player of the Year, and team captain Kate Martin won Iowa's Sportsmanship Award. The team bounced back from a tough loss to Maryland in their victory over number 2 ranked Indiana, and will have a strong boost of momentum heading into the Big Ten tournament.
Knowing our group has been there, we've been in the championship and lost, we've been in the championship and won. I have to flip a switch when tournament time comes. The regular season doesn't really matter anymore. As fun as it was, we have a 24-hour rule.
From the University of Iowa, Aiden Wirtz, DITV Sports.
Thanks, Aiden. Plaintiffs in the lawsuit against the University of Iowa football team for alleged racial discrimination dropped 4 coaches from the suit yesterday. Head coach Kirk Ferentz, offensive coordinator Brian Ferentz, former strength and conditioning coach Chris Doyle, and athletic director Gary Barta were dismissed without prejudice. And what does this mean exactly? Well, the plaintiffs can reintroduce the same lawsuit against these coaches if they wanted to. However, the original lawsuit is still ongoing with only the University of Iowa and the Board of Regents left as defendants in the case. Doyle voluntarily left the football program in June of 2020 with a $1.1 million settlement after players claimed he made racist comments toward them. And the Iowa baseball team held its home opener yesterday at Dwayne Bakes Field against Loras College and won 9-2. The Hawks had a bullpen day, getting 9 different pitchers into the game, all pitching 1 inning. Big Ten Player of the Week Keaton Anthony and Brennan Dorighi had their way at the plate, each going 3 for 5 with a home run. Raider Tello also finished the game with 3 hits. Iowa will now prepare for the South Alabama tournament in Mobile, where they will play Southern University, South Alabama, and Pepperdine. The Hawks will have their next home game against Coe College next week. And the Iowa women's softball team fell to Oregon State 2-1 yesterday in the final day of the Mary Nutter Classic in California. The Hawkeyes started sophomore pitcher Devin Greer against the Beavers, where she pitched 4 innings, allowing only 1 run and just 4 hits to go along with 4 strikeouts. The Hawks ended the Classic going 2-3 with wins against Bethune-Cookman and CSUN and losses against Oregon State, California, and number 1 ranked UCLA. Iowa will look to bounce back on Friday against South Dakota and Arizona when they compete in the Adam Brown Shamrock Challenge. Come back Friday for all the latest in Hawkeye sports. Now let's go back to David for another look at the weather. Dave?
Thanks, Sam. As I mentioned, make sure you enjoy the nice weather while you can, as another potential winter storm may be heading to Iowa City. The storm looks like it's coming from the east, bringing tons of rain and snow. However, today marks the turn of the month and officially the end of winter. With spring now upon us, we will remain hopeful that warmer weather is coming ahead. Hopefully, someone will let the storm know that it is now spring and it is not welcome. Back to you, Johnny.
Thanks, David. Dictionary.com updated its website to feature over 300 new words and revised or added to existing definitions. Many of these new words are related to the internet. One word, rage farming, refers to intentionally provoking a political opponent online. Other words relate to the LGBTQ terms like queer baiting and pink washing. The Dictionary.com senior director said the website is adding these new words because they've reached mainstream popularity. Thank you for tuning in to DITV News and listening to KRUI 89.7 FM. Be sure to head over to thedailyiowan.com for all your latest news between Monday and Friday. And check out more of our content on thedailyiowan.com/DITV. For DITV News, I'm Johnny Valtman. Have a great day.